Delta, welcome in. How you doing? Delta,
Yes, hi.
welcome in. Delta, Delta, are you at least 18 and are you a believer?
Yes, I'm a believer in Christ.
Cool. And what would be the most compelling evidence or argument for the Christian God being real?
Well, I had a question for you because you said that
Well,
religion has a
that's a
net negative.
that's adorable that you think that. But you're going to answer my question first. Once we get through the initial phase of questioning, then you can ask a question. So, what would be the most compelling evidence or argument for the Christian God being real?
History.
Okay, can you flesh that out? What about history proves the Christian God being real?
Well, Jesus Christ is the person who has been written about and documented the most
So,
throughout our history, our shared history.
so does somebody
He's
popular
the person you can think
mean that what
of
they
that.
say is true?
Well, do you believe in George Washington?
Yeah, I believe Jesus existed. No one's questioning his existence here. I'm saying if somebody is popular, does that mean everything they say is true?
No.
Okay. Now, so we agree that Jesus is popular. We agree that he existed as a human being. I'm trying to find a reason why I would believe that he's the Messiah or he's part of a Trinity or he's God or anything like that.
Because he, out of anybody else that you can think of, was able to resurrect himself from the dead.
Oh, prove it. Because I know a bunch of people from Jesus' time period,
Part of history.
and prior to
What
Jesus
year
that
is
resurrected from the
it?
dead.
What year is it?
It happens to be 2023 if you're on the American calendar, if you're on the Chinese calendar or the
How
Jewish
many years is that?
calendar. If you're on
Why
the
why do
Jewish
we 20?
calendar or the non-Christian calendar, you're going to have actually a different date. So I know this is already not going to go well for you if this you think that AD and BC are good arguments. So you are aware that the Julian calendar came before the Gregorian calendar, was nearly identical to the Gregorian calendar. Pope Gregory only slightly shifted the Julian calendar. You know that, right?
Can I ask you a question since you've asked me so many?
Are you going to answer my question? Are you aware that the
Let's
way
answer
we're
like
counting years right now is based on Pope Gregory in the middle of the 15th century, who just slightly tweaked the Julian calendar?
no. I would like to ask you one question. Is that okay?
Okay, so you're not aware of this. Cool.
I didn't say that. Although I am not aware of that. But I don't care what that means because I asked you what year we're in.
2025. I think we all know on the
Okay.
accounting system of years within the American system and even in the European system, it's the year 2025. If you're on the Jewish calendar, it's like 5700.
Can I get these words out of your mouth? You think that Christianity is a net negative on the world?
I think over the course of history, Christianity has been a net negative. You heard me say it
Would you
once. I don't know why you need to hear it a second
and
time.
ask AI? Say, ask AI that. Ask AI if Christians
Why do I give a shit about what AI says?
have been the most biggest proponents against
AI
the
went like a year without knowing how many R's were in the word strawberry. I sure as hell don't care about its opinion on whether or not it's a net negative or a net negative for or net positive for society.
not even thinking about
AI,
what
I don't know if you know this, AI is not a source either.
I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying.
I am. I'm thinking about what you're saying. I'm saying that the source you're relying on is embarrassing. If you think asking AI a question validates your God being real, you're even more confused than the last caller.
Okay, so if somebody comes into your house, rapes your whole family, kills your pets, is that good or bad?
Well, in my worldview, it's bad.
Okay.
Is it bad in your worldview?
No, but what if your
It's not.
neighbor?
Wait, it's not bad in your worldview.
No, it is, of course,
Oh, okay,
because
and why is it bad in your worldview?
I have a foundation of morals to stand on.
Okay,
Do you?
so it's bad in your worldview because what?
Because Christ came and he fulfilled the commandments.
That has nothing to do with moral law. Like, why is it bad to have someone's wife raped? Why is that bad?
Because God tells us that it is.
Okay, so God wouldn't
From
God wouldn't do anything to cause women to be raped.
God wouldn't do anything to be caught. What?
Would God do anything? Would God act in a way that would cause women to be raped?
No.
No, interesting. Do you think that women that are caught in war have consent?
In a war between who?
Between two nations. If nation A goes to war with
What?
nation B,
What?
and nation
Which
A
nation?
takes women's captives, like they
You're trying to
kidnap
catch me in something
Delta.
that's not. It's not gonna work, brother.
Delta, you can't answer questions while you're talking, so pay attention. If nation A and nation B go to war together, nation A wins the war. They kidnap the women. And they kill everybody but the women, right? They just take the women captive, maybe even the
You know what
children.
you do? It would not be able to be called bad.
Delta, shut up. You can't answer my question until you hear the damn question. Get some of the Holy Spirit patience and wait for the question to be finished. So, if nation A and nation B go to war, and nation A kidnaps the women, do those women who are war captives, do they have consent? So if like a dude in the army kidnaps a woman and says, I want to marry you, does the woman actually have consent in that situation?
Wait, repeat that last thing you asked.
If a woman is kidnapped from her home in a war, and the guy who kidnaps her says, I want to marry you, does she actually have consent?
Yes, of course. She should not be put in that situation.
Then you haven't answered the question appropriately. Do,
Would ever
do, do,
promote
do prisoners
courage
have
or
consent?
uh, prisoners should only be prisoners based on consequences of
Nope,
things that they
not an answer to my question. I said,
yeah.
do prisoners possess the capability of consent?
It depends on where they're prisoners at and what their laws are.
They've been captured in war.
Where
Do they have the ability to consent as captives, as prisoners?
to consent to what?
To the union. Were you listening to anything I said, or were you just talking the whole time?
Oh man, I'm listening.
Okay,
To the
I'll start from the beginning. Put your listening ears on this time. If a country goes to war, country A and country A kidnaps all the women. A guy from country A says, "Listen, I kidnapped these women."
I want you
Delta,
to talk
stop
about
fucking talking. You can't answer the question if you're talking over me. Stop
the
it.
country itself.
Okay, so I'm going to
The
mute
name-
you. I'm going to mute you because you're not adult enough to follow. Okay, this is your problem now. So, country A goes to war with country B. Country A kidnaps a bunch of women. They have taken captives. They said, "You are now my captive," right? So imagine there's a warrior now with a couple captive women. And he says, "You're really hot. I'm going to marry you." In that situation, does the woman that he pointed to and he wants to marry, does that woman actually have consent? Yes or no?
consent to say no and refuse the marriage.
Does she have consent?
No, she doesn't. In that
Okay,
situation,
and exactly in that situation, Delta, she does not have consent. And why is that the case?
because we live in a fallen world.
No, she doesn't have consent because she's a prisoner. She is a captive.
Right. And the only
Do
reason
you
that
do
we can
you do you
innocent people in those
Delta,
situations
no one
because
cares about your preaching. We're talking about a specific scenario.
read the Bible, that you were a big Christian back in the
Okay, we're going to mute you since you can't actually follow. Okay. Now, the reason why I gave you the analogy is because it's directly analogous to laws that God gives. God, if you've actually read the Bible, which I know you haven't, because you walked right into this one. God says, when you go to war against your enemies and the Lord your God hands them over to you and you take them captive, suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman whom you desire and want to marry. So you bring her home to your house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and remain in your house a full month, mourning her father and mother. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. So now, according to what you told me prior, Delta, women that are captured in war don't actually have consent. And when you sleep with somebody who doesn't have consent, what do we call that?
rape.
Okay.
Rape.
Now, so what we find in Deuteronomy 21 is God commanding the Israelites to rape women.
Yeah, but you're bringing back part of the Old Testament
It doesn't matter if
which
it's
was
Old Testament or New Testament. Did God command it?
this is a life. Uh,
Did God
uh,
command it?
this is before Christ
Did God
existed.
command it?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that means God commanded his soldiers to rape women. That's the logical entailment of the argument that we just did, which means your God is disgusting and you need to
No
actually read your book. It's clear you haven't read your book.
abortion.
No, just so
You
you
believe
know,
abortion?
Delta,
Can you?
no one can hear you when you're talking when I'm talking, by the way. I don't know if you know this. I'll say it for your benefit and for everyone else's benefit. If you talk while I'm talking, there's no chance in hell, not a snowball's chance in hell that anyone's ever going to hear you because
Do
your
you believe in
microphone is quieter than mine. And then also on top of that, your connection sucks. So if you want to have like a real dialogue, you should probably wait till like I'm done talking to say your stuff because no one can hear what you're saying. And he dropped or his connection gave way. One of the two. His connection was dog shit. I assume he just ran away. So it is what it is. What are we gonna do? You know what I mean? He walked literally. He
I'm
walked.
sorry,
Oh, he came back. All right.
sorry, I switched to Wi-Fi to make
Welcome.
sure that
Welcome back.
flow better.
Okay.
So, do you believe abortion? Was my question.
Abortion has nothing to do with whether or not your God is real.
No, it's because you're making it seem like what my God has done in the past is so terrible. But I want to know what you allow in this world. Do you
Oh,
believe in abortion?
my opinion on abortion is irrelevant to your God.
Anybody who has the pride to question what God does in the sense of Jesus Christ and the Gospels, he came to, uh, you know how Jesus Christ was when he lived in the world, and
Yeah,
he
he was a
hated them.
liar and a fraud. I know.
He called them vipers and snakes.
He was a liar and a fraud. I know. Yeah, Jesus was a
How
fraud
was he a liar? Tell me how he was a liar, please.
because he claimed to be the Messiah and he wasn't.
How do you know that he's not the Messiah? Like,
Because the Old Testament
are
tells us what the Messiah is going to do, and he didn't do any of it.
and
And
you're,
it's very clear, Delta, that he's not the Messiah. All he had to do is actually read the book, which you clearly haven't done.
I read the book,
Oh,
obviously.
you certainly have not read the book. What
Okay.
what messianic prophecy did he fulfill?
Even when he was speaking on the cross, when he was dying and being crucified, he said, Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? And that's directly out of Psalms.
It's not
I
even
think
a
maybe
prophecy. Psalm 22 is not a prophecy. Try again.
you need to read the Old Testament
I
and realize
have
that
I have 2
the Christ
degrees. I have 2 degrees in biblical studies, both concentrating in the Old Testament. So try again. Psalm 22 is not a prophecy, Delta.
you'll be back.
No, I
Do you
won't.
believe in abortion? Have you
Again,
haven't
I'm
answered?
not going to let you pivot. I don't know why you keep thinking I'm going to let you pivot. So, like, I know you're terrified of discussing your actual book, but
Transgender.
I know you're.
Probably
I
encourage
know.
and promote homosexuality.
I know you're terrified of actually addressing your book, and you just want to crash out on your bad political talking points. But we're not going to do that, right? So we're going to keep talking about your book. Either you're willing to talk about your book or you're not. But I'm not going to let you pivot to political talking points. That's not what we do here. So
Life, brother.
he's still talking. He can't help himself. All right. Well, listen. You can't be an honest interlocutor, and you obviously don't want to have a conversation with why you don't stop talking. So I'm just gonna go ahead and he's still talking the whole time. All right. Well, I'm just gonna cut you now, and you can go cry about it later.